January 10th, 2019. Dear Madison Regional Health System medical team, I'm not sure if you will remember us or not, but I'm guessing we were in an odd situation. We were the patients you received on Saturday, September 1st, a day we will never forget. Unfortunately, I experienced pre-eclampsia and my hospital in Aberdeen decided to fly me down to Sioux Falls to try to hold off having our little miss for a couple of days. But she had other plans. On our way to Sioux Falls, her heart rate was getting a little low, so they decided to make an emergency landing in Madison at your hospital. I've always wanted to be a mom.
Here in Madison, we recognize that you can't plan for these types of situations, so we always have people on call. We have a surgeon that's on call, and he's ready to come in and help with whatever situation might arise.
So I was on call that Saturday afternoon. The phone call was, we've got a helicopter coming into the hospital that needs an emergency C-section. That's a pretty unusual phone call for the Madison Hospital.
When we got the call, we immediately put into action our drill that we have trained on regularly. The reason I love working in Madison is because not only are we a hospital, but we're a community and we're almost like a family. I know somebody came out of church to come in and help us.
Daryl and Dr. McGill and I all met the patient out in the pre-op holding area. Short little interview at that time. Whisked her back to the room along with some of the flight staff who came with us.
Our team was able to assemble quickly. We got her prepped for an emergency C-section like we have been trained to do many times throughout my career here.
Eventually, they did take me into the room. They prepped me, and it was so scary. My husband wasn't there. My CRNA, he said, we're gonna have to do this without your husband. He's not gonna make it. And then he did say that he would step in and be there for me, so he talked me through everything. To this day, I thank God for him too, because I was so scared. And having your first baby, you expect your husband to be there, and it didn't work out that way. So to have him there, it was amazing to have him there. I remember I was petrified, I was crying, and he wiped the tears on my cheeks and said, it's gonna be okay. And then I had a nurse grab my hand and say, do you pray? And I said, yes. And she's like, I'll pray with you. Just to hear, that I wasn't alone. I had no idea. I've never met any of these people before. I've never been to Madison. For everybody just to come around me and just make me feel like, they're like my guardian angels that just came and took care of me. It was amazing.
Obviously, we're concerned about taking care of her physically and doing everything possible to have a positive outcome for her and the baby. You can imagine the emotions she probably didn't show, even if she didn't show them, but a lady on a helicopter with your first pregnancy and your first child, and your husband is on his way driving, and this is the first time she's done this, she doesn't understand what's all going on, and for us to be able to support her emotionally, whether it's holding her hand, her husband wasn't there to hold her hand. I think we did some of that and just reassure her that we thought everything was going to turn out okay.
You all rushed to the hospital, or it sounded like it, to care for us, and we received the best care ever. Something in my heart told me that we were in the right place and all would be fine. They asked if I wanted to see my baby, and I said yes. And then before I was ready to go, they're like, you can touch her. And so I remember grabbing her little hand. That was the best feeling. So scary because I thought I was gonna break her. She's just so small. She was small, but she's mighty. It's amazing what she can teach you. I mean, I'm an adult, and she taught me so much on strength, and gosh, you just look at her. Here she is, this little tiny baby, stronger than I am, and I'm like, I gotta be strong for her. So it was awesome. And now I have this sweet baby girl and her family. I thank God every day for all the medical team that took care of us that day. Highly thank Madison Hospital too, because without their hospital being there to land, I don't know what would have happened. It's scary, you know. Thankfully, we don't have to think about that or go through any of that. Thank you for the exceptional care, for treating us like one of your own. That is what small towns are all about. I grew up in a small town in Nebraska, and I miss that feeling. You are all amazing, and I thank God every day for each and every one of you.
The most emotional thing that I saw her display was after the intensive care nursery took her baby, and we were able to reassure her that the baby's doing great. And I asked her about names, and that's the first time that I saw her cry.
We named her Madison Rose Kost.